conversations with them, the ones that are capable. Of course, a lot of them have mental issues. They can't express themselves. But the ones that can, the ones that understand, they say, you know what hurts more than not getting change is being ignored.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You know? And the fact that, you know, I see them as my neighbors. I know which guys are safe, and I stop to talk to them. And you know, they've seen my daughter grow up, and they'll smile and as we walk by, and you know, that to them means a lot. As far as surviving, because a lot of these people end up. The idea that happens down here, and a lot of them will tell you this if you get in deep conversations with them, is downtown, being homeless in downtown is hitting rock. You're below rock bottom. People don't come here to fix their lives; they come here to die.
Yeah,
you know. Because as far as being homeless somewhere, there's a million other places you can pick that aren't this congested and troubled with mental issues and homelessness and all that, right? So you could end up in Pasadena, which treats their homeless, you know, well, and they don't have a large population as we do downtown. And there's a lot of help for the homeless there. The reason people end up here is because they've completely been given up on, and they've given up. So it's great that you're doing this. I mean, I totally see a worth in it.
Thank you.
People need to know. I mean, as it is even for us, sometimes we feel invisible in our world, and we need to be motivated, right? So could you imagine being in that situation?
Absolutely.
Of course you can. Because that's why you're here. So I totally appreciate what you're doing. I get it. Being part of this community, it matters to me that, you know, that somebody, because anything that affects the homeless community also affects those of us that aren't in this community, you know. So anybody that takes interest in trying to see what you can do to make a difference, it affects all of us.
Why do you think Pasadena or whatever? Why do you think they treat their homeless better than like downtown?
Well, I think the numbers aren't there. I mean, I think downtown is overwhelmed. You know, there's stories. I mean, you talk to some of these guys. This guy not that long ago I was talking to, who was, you know, you're homeless in Oklahoma, and they basically will buy you a one-way ticket to Los Angeles. They just want you out of Oklahoma if you're homeless, and they're like, go live in Los Angeles. The weather's better, and there's all the missions are there, and you know, they will feed you, and you end up down here. And if you're coming from Oklahoma, this is going to blow your mind, right? This drives you mad. I know people that are homeless down here that never did drugs until the day they arrived here as homeless people, because you need drugs to survive these streets. You know, like people think, oh, they're just junkies, that's why they're there. I mean, that's a case with a lot of people, sure, but there's a lot of people that they're like, the only reason I do drugs is because I need that space in my head to survive what I see, what I experience.
Escape from the reality.
I mean, it's that harsh.
It's a good point. Being homeless, on that same point about them not having any sort of drug problem until they arrive here, it's the need for connection and bonding. So if you don't have that, which these guys absolutely do not have, how do you get that human connection? How do you get that bond, the love, respect, dignity? They turn to alternative sources. For some people, you know, it could be pornography. Some people, it's they turn to violence, domestic abuse. A lot of times it's the drugs, and then that's how they end up in the situation. You know, it's the drugs. Not because they want to do drugs. It's because they've been isolated by their very existence as human beings, that they have no alternative source but to breath to fill that void in their life.
Yeah, right.
So that's I think really key.
Right, and the other thing that I've seen that's very typical, I mean, us being able to stand here and we have, you know, we've been able to understand what the comfort means to take care of, to have families, to get married, to have children, to care about your appearance, and any of those aspects. The thing that I see that's common, we've, in different degrees, at least as kids, we all had some solid foundation with our families as we were children with our parents. right? Even if there was turmoil in our childhood, my parents were divorced, but there was still a solid foundation there. And what you see, what brings people to this level is they never had that. They never understood that. So it's not the drugs. It's starting with them. It's a lot of, and the majority of them that I've talked about, that they've talked to me about their situations. They say, like, I see you with your daughter walking down the street. I never had that with my dad. I never knew my dad. I never had my father hold my hand and walk. I see you walk with your daughter up and down the street every day. I never had that. And much less, some of them even, like, we always hold our mothers in higher regard because our mothers are our mothers, right? Us as guys.
Right.
But some of them have never even had that with either parent, not even their mothers. So as growing up, they don't learn that bond. We all make mistakes in life, but we recover from those because we understand the foundation we were given as children. And they don't have that. That's why they don't know how to recover. They're just going the route that they've been trained to go since they were 4 years old,
And it's even worse than that. It's not just the absence of a father figure or a mother figure. It's in a lot of instances, it's their presence is extremely negative. There's domestic violence. They tell the kids things like, I wish you were never born.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, get the hell out of here. Why are you still here?
Yeah.
And then they kick them out, and then their mothers don't want them. Their fathers, they're still there.
Right.
It's an active disregard for them.
Yeah.
They would have been better off without them in their lives. That was the case I talked to with Malcolm yesterday, and it's on the website now. I did an interview with him. He told me, his father told him, I wish you had never been born. And his father kicked him out when he was 18, kicked his brother out as well, and the mother didn't want anything to do with them, and that's what it's a very horrible situation that begins with the kid, but ultimately it goes back to love, respect, and the need for human connection and to bond with other humans.
Right. Yeah, you're right. And then, you hear people often saying, like, oh, we need to get these people working, they're being lazy, all that stuff. It's like, that's not where you need to start with them. These people mentally, and I'm not saying they're beyond help, but I'm saying you don't start with giving them a job because mentally they're not capable of handling that. They won't. You get them a job, they won't be able to show up for work because they won't find the worth in themselves to be able to be like, I could go be part of society.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
Okay.
Yes.
So you have to start small. You gotta give them the love, the respect, the dignity, and the foundation.
Everything they missed as children.
So gotta start from the very beginning.
Yeah.
How do you think we can answer that? I feel like it's almost like a cultural marketing. Like when they did the seat belts, 20 years ago, nobody ever put on a seatbelt. Now everybody's part of our culture. Before you even drive, you have to put on a seatbelt. How do you think we change that? Like, do the same thing that we did with the seatbelts to being able to love openly, without judgment, and then be able to accept others as equals.
I mean, that's hard to answer because even with everything we know now, and everything at our access, everything that we're capable of understanding, we still have parents here that still are raising children that they don't want to raise. That they don't want to put the effort into building that foundation for the kid. The kid, I still see parents walking down the street when everybody's here shopping on Sundays. Even people that are coming out from Pomona and wherever to shop down here in the fashion district on Sundays. You see these people sometimes and the way they treat their kids. And it's across all race and all, economic levels. You see people getting out of the Mercedes calling their kids idiots, or people that obviously are lower middle class economically, just actually slapping their kids on the head right here in the street. That's hard because you see that all the time, and that's where it needs to change, right? But it's too late to do that for the people that are already in your homes. But I'm not saying it's too late for the homeless. I'm just saying somehow they have to understand that love, that care, that they're capable of being part of society exists. And that's a hard question to answer because there's a lot of organizations and people down here trying, right? Some of them that I've met and I've seen, some of the organizations are too mired in bureaucracy that they're not capable of implementing that or understanding that. To them, it's all, finding these patterns and really. Just like you and I are caring human beings, but we're still different. We're still coming from different perspectives and backgrounds, but we're able to see eye to eye on that. It's the same with the homeless. They're not just human beings; they're individuals. So the approach to each one, I mean, but they have counselors that try to help, but the counselors are following rules by the book, and they treat, they might see 50 people a day. But they treat them all the same. I'm going to ask you these same basic questions, and if you can't answer them, whatever, I'm going to move on. And then, you're going to. It's hard. It's really a hard sell. But the positive I see is that people move in, and when they first move into downtown, especially because I've been here 12 years, I've seen how people have been adjusting. They first move in, they hate it. They hate the homeless. They think, like, oh my God, I'm leaving. The ones that stick it out learn to interact, learn to be like, these guys are human beings. They're individual human beings. And they're not all just like the same. I'm not going to treat them all the same. I have better friendships with some of the homeless than I do with others because we click in conversation better with some as individuals, right?
And that's
because I mean, we all have that fault as human beings because they'll look at a lot of times, especially the newcomers. They'll look at me and they'll think like, they're like, you have any change? I'm like, no, sorry, buddy, I don't today, right? And all of a sudden they judge me for not helping them. And I'm like, just because I have keys to a place and I walk in and doesn't mean I could afford to give $1 to the 30 people that asked me for $1. I mean, that ends up that's expensive. That's, it could be $200 a week, $800 a month. I mean, I would love to be able to do that, but there's no anybody could afford to do that. We wouldn't be living down here if we could afford to. I mean, I would because I'm an artist and there's a lot I appreciate about the diversity, the movement here. It's all, I find it inspiring. Even the tough stuff because it makes you think about like how could you be creative about approaching this and fixing this and really when it comes down to, especially, in a lot of times what we're going through right now with our presidents, a lot of negativity, and it's like, if you live that way, we're not going to find answers to any of this, but it's like, it's stopping and saying hello and smiling and, and even though sometimes it's difficult, when you get 10 homeless people calling you a foul name for not helping them, to smile at the 11th guy, but somehow, you find a way to do that.